Hello and welcome back to the Barrow. I am the Barrow White and you're watching some NIMBY rails, German rails. We're into, episode 5 now. So we moved on from RE1. Now we're on RE5. We're going to make our way north from Koblenz up to Wesel. So through Bonn, through Cologne, through Düsseldorf, Duisburg, and finally up to Wesel. See there. So let's get back to Koblenz, get settled in, and get started with the construction. Here we are at the Hauptbahnhof in Koblenz where we ended the last line. And how are we going to get across this river? Well, first there is a station, the Stadtmitte. Middle town is what that means, Stadtmitte. You know, when I was first in Germany many years ago in the early 80s, we used to drive to Koblenz from where I was at because they had a kind of cool indoor shopping mall. It wasn't quite like a mall in the United States, but it was still very nice, a shopping area. I imagine it's still there. When I met my girlfriend, wife, she told me that she also used to go up there. She would get on the train from Traben-Trabach, like I talked last time, and we'd go up to Koblenz for the day. I thought that was pretty cool that she and I had both gone there for shopping. I'm sure there's lots more to do there. I just haven't spent any time in the city other than that little bit, buying some clothes and maybe some records and stuff like that. Now later when we get up to Köln, as we Americans say, then I'll tell you, there used to be, I don't know if it's still there, I'll look this up, used to be a record store. Yes, albums, vinyl. And it was called Saturn. And we went up there one time when I was still living on base. And I came home with a bunch of records. I had some Kraftwerk, some Roxy Music. I was kind of into a Jethro Tull and Yes thing at that moment, so I was buying several of their older albums. I don't know, I'd have to go back and really look through my collection, which is small nowadays. I haven't kept my records. But I'd have to go back and see if I can remember which ones that I still have that I bought there at Saturn in Cologne. I wonder if anybody else has shopped there before, any of you, and I also wonder if it's still there. I'm going to look it up. Looks like it's still there. When we get up to Cologne, we're going to see this station called the Hansaring, and apparently it's very close to that. Amazing. While playing this game, I got to return to a place from my younger days. Oh, here we have the town of Bad Breisig. Of course, it's Bad Breisig. And Bad does not mean bad. It doesn't mean there's a good Breisig somewhere. Bad means bath. Probably comes from old Roman baths that might have been there. Or perhaps there have been some curative spas there as well. Something of that nature. That's more than likely where the bad comes from. Now, I don't know what Baden-Baden is. That's 2 bads in a row. Maybe they're very clean there. Remagen. There was a famous bridge there.
Marty helped capture the Remagen Bridge.
What was that? Well, from a famous movie, I believe. Yeah, Remagen is an interesting town, and that was where the Allied soldiers first crossed the Rhine towards the end of World War II. We were finally getting into Germany, and that part of the war was ending. There's a good old movie from I don't know, I assume the 40s, and it's called The Bridge at Remagen, or The Bridge over Remagen. It doesn't matter, whatever it was. It was a pretty good movie about soldiers from both sides attacking and defending that bridge. I recommended it if you like war movies at all. It's old, and it's black and white, so be prepared for that. But it's still a good movie, and I think it gives you some good insight into, it's fictionalized, but a good insight into that part of some of the fighting. Just enjoying my building, taking my time, town to town. The Bonn UN, United Nations campus, I assume. I don't know of any other UN. And with Bonn having been the capital of Germany for a long time, it certainly makes sense that the UN would have a campus there. Oh, it looks like I've decided to put some trains on this route. That's good, because we need to get some passengers moving. We're already to Bonn, and once you get to Bonn, we're just hop, skip, and a jump from Cologne. We're certainly not going to make it to Basel in one video, but we'll get there within 2 or 3, I think. Now, I've never been on the train that goes north of Koblenz. I've gotten on the train, I've switched trains at Koblenz coming from the Mosel, which we did in these videos, but then I went right on the Rhine and went south. So, but I can tell you, the places that these trains are going now, as you look to the right, you always see the Rhine River, and it is just so beautiful. And as I mentioned, castles and things of that nature there are a lot of them. Though, of course, in Germany during the war, World War II, many of those castles ended up getting bombed. So they've had to be rebuilt, or many of them are in ruins. From my experience, though, if you're on the Rhine River, you're more likely to find castles that have been refurbished and rebuilt and look great. Whereas along the Mosel River, the castles that are there are usually Burg Ruine, usually ruins of fortresses and castles. They're still incredibly interesting, and you can tour and go through them a lot, but you're not going to see fancy furniture and heraldry and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of rock and tunnels, dirt and towers. It's amazing. It just depends on what you're looking for. Ooh, it looks like it's getting pretty marshy here. I wonder what's up. Oh, didn't we have Brol a while ago? And now we have Brew. It was Brew. Another really hard word to say. Because if umlaut U is E, E-W, and you put an R in front of that, it's like brew. So that'd be like brew. I guess that'd probably be the easiest way to pronounce the city. Brule. Brule. You don't have to sing it. Brule. And yes, that qualifies as singing for me. As I've been making these videos, in some of the towns that we go through, I always notice is this oval building, big oval building, which is obviously a football field. And I'm thinking, well, they don't play football, I mean American football in Germany. But of course, soccer stadiums are going to be the same thing. They're similar sized fields, and they're going to have a large oval of stands and things like that built around it to watch the games. I've even been to some of them in Germany, I mean. But I've seen them, several of them close to the tracks, or close enough that you pass them by at the zoom level that I'm usually at when I go through these towns. Which means, just like here, we're in the big cities here in the States, wherever there's a big football stadium, American or otherwise, they're in like the factory district. And if there's a factory district, you know, the industrial district of your city, because who wants to have 75,000 fans in their cars parked in a neighborhood if they can be out at the outskirts of town? But yeah, you see that there's a correlation between that part of town and the football field. I think that's a football field right there. And there's another one. Look at that. It has a track around it. No, I'm sure that's not always true. I'm sure there are plenty of train tracks that drives right by people's houses and they wish they didn't. Hey, we finally made it to Köln. And this is really close to where the big dome is, the big cathedral. Very famous. Maybe that's what I should start putting in here instead of funny video snippets. I should put like a picture of the dome. But let's keep moving. Make our way north out of this city into the next, and honestly, there are a huge change of cities from here onward to the north. There might be some gaps in between, but it's just so many people live up here. Now here's the Hansa Ring I was talking about, and that's where that Saturn record store was and still is. A few years ago, I was in Cologne, and we were driving, or I was riding in a car. We were driving downtown, and I looked and looked and looked, and I thought I could find it. Now I'm remembering this, but I missed it, and we were on the right street even. I forgot about that until I was recording this. Finishing up the main train station there. I guess the Hansa Ring was in between. That was, I kind of jumped to the right there because once in a while, these big train stations, they get so complicated. You want to try to understand them before you can figure out how you're going to approach them from a distance. That's why earlier I jumped off like a station or two ahead to the Hauptbahnhof. But now that I think about it, the Hansa Ring is across the river, I think. So I'm jumping back and forth, forwards and backwards geographically, just so I can plan out the way they'll intersect a little easier. I guess one more station is the Messe. And the Messe is the trading zone of the city. And I guess the Hansa Ring would kind of be that as well, but it seems like they're on both sides of the river. So different sides of the river, different trading portions of the city. You know, I don't think we're going to get our trains running this episode, So we'll just keep building for now, and we'll get our trains running soon. So that's it for this episode. That's all. I think we did pretty good. We got all the way from Koblenz to across the river. We're on the east bank of the Rhine now, in Cologne, and it was a good episode. Here in a second, I'll bring up some stats. Let's see how far we got today. It's like 93 kilometers, 25 stations is what we just built. It's pretty good. And of course, that's the total for this route. So everybody, you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Hit like, subscribe. Have a great day.